My goal for this channel, I want to be relational, I want to be honest, transparent, truthful, and real. I'm a full-time firefighter, I'm a full-time dad. I have a beautiful little girl. I have another girl on the way. I have an amazing wife who works hard. She works full-time. I even still, though, I have this desire and this determination for something more, and I know that we're created for more. I hope this channel can be about scripture, about what God's doing, about my struggles, the mistakes I've made, be an encouragement to others, be about my family, girl dad stuff, struggles, especially as of late, just with, I have free time, which is a blessing but a curse, because I'm sitting here stewing in my thoughts of what more can I be doing? You know, my wife works 8 to 5, and even though I'm spending time with my daughter and playing, we're having a great time, and we do fun things that I wouldn't be able to do with a regular job, I want more, but there's just been this standstill. So, for those of you who know me, great. For those that I don't know, I'd love to know you more. Feel free to like, subscribe, ask any questions in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to address those at a later date. But I'll share my prayers, I'll share what I'm going through, and I'd love to know more about what you guys are going through. Daughter also painted my fingernails. Things we do for our daughter. Try not to jump the gun on where I'm wanting to go with this. So yesterday my prayer was, God, I'm not the smartest guy, I'm not the most talented guy, and I'm definitely not the most educated guy. But I'm gonna trust you, and I'll do anything, anytime, anywhere in faith, even when it doesn't make sense to me. I'm hoping that this dove would just fall from the sky. That's been kind of something I go back to. I even have a tattoo of a dove, because I'll tell you more stories of how God has sent me a dove. There have been 3 instances that there's been either a physical dove or some representation of a dove. So, I'm thinking, all right, God's gonna send me a dove. And the day goes on, I take my daughter to her first dance class of the year, and I run into a seminary professor from my church. His name is Don. I was like, okay, Dove, D-O-V-D-O-N. So it's close enough. But so this time, God sent me a Don. And we're both seeking God's direction from where we're at currently, what God's doing, scripture, what we're reading. And he gave me great advice. And he said, you need to start a YouTube channel. Maybe it's the self-doubt, maybe it's the fear of failure, that I thought, who's gonna wanna know what David Hill's doing? And comically enough, I was actually journaling at the station Sunday, and my lieutenant was sitting there, and he jokes a lot, but sometimes, there's truth in some people's jokes. And the joke was, I hate when you do that. Nobody's ever gonna listen to what you have to say. Nobody cares what David Hill thinks. One of those naysayers, one of the giants that I know I will face, and I'm just gonna have to overcome it. And if this channel does nothing but just goes out to the internet and dies, it'll at least be a means of me sharing my thoughts just by getting things off my chest and being able to process better. I think journaling, looking at how God has taken, day 1 to day 2 of this prayer to now potentially creating a channel, and whatever this turns out to be, I know that it can be far greater, because through the, even through the journaling that I have, I'm able to go back and look at things that I was struggling with and things that I was going through, and I'm able to look back at how God has gotten me through every time and time again. I'm so blessed to be where I am. So a few of the things that led me here was talking with Don. My previous quiet time was also about David and Goliath. Everybody knows Goliath, the main giant from biblical history. He's 9 feet tall, and David kills him with 1 small stone. It talks about how David faced 4 giants prior to Goliath. We talk about the giant of delay. So with today, you've got Amazon, which is next day, 2-day shipping. We are creatures of this instant gratification. I wanted to start business, and I wanted to start it 2 years ago. And knowing that it may not be instant, but grinding at it day by day and continuing with that. The second giant was the giant of discouragement. It was looking at how Goliath created this climate of fear and discouragement for all of the Israelites. In their mind, there's no way they're gonna win. And it leads you to question, who am I listening to? Who am I listening to that's telling me that no one's ever gonna listen to what I have to say? Who am I listening to saying that's putting my dreams down? I'm not saying this is what was my dream, but maybe this is something that God's had in store for me. And all my journaling up to this point has been stories that I'll be able to share. If it resonates with 1%, then great. If this is all just for me, then great too. But sometimes we need a fresh voice, and we just need to be doers instead of hearers. That's a big failure on my part, is I'm a hearer of the word, I'm not a doer. And there were 2 other giants, one being the giant of disproval. David's brothers didn't believe that their youngest, smallest brother would be able to take out this 9-foot giant. As we pursue our goals, we'll be misjudged, we'll be misunderstood. Even those closest to us, our family members, may have doubts for us, instill fear into us. Having your mind right. Hopefully my mind is right, and everything is spirit-led and not David-led. But seeking the approval of God and not man will be a huge step to, I think, further any of these along. And then the fourth giant that David faced was the giant of doubt. So King Saul, who was a war hero, he knew war better than anybody. He has doubt that this little boy, shepherd boy, was going to be able to go and defeat this war hero. He even gives him his armor, but David says, I'm not used to this. He takes it off and says, I'm going to go with what I know. I'm going to use the gifts that God's given me. I'm going to face the giant. He says, I come in the name of God, the same God who delivered me from the claws of the lion, the claws of the bear, will deliver me from you. He has so much faith and so much tenacity in those moments of so much other fear. Like everyone else is running away. They're fearful. This little kid, little shepherd boy, said, hey, look, I looked back. I looked at the stories that I wrote about my past. I saw God overcome. Okay, I got this 9-foot giant. He knew with confidence that he would overcome. So that's my prayer for this channel, that it overcomes. It overcomes my fears of speaking. That it overcomes my fear of what others are going to think. And hopefully God's glorified through everything. That's where I'm at right now. Hopefully I'll have more videos to post soon. But I just wanted to get a starter video out there so I can share with you guys. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. Thanks.